Welcome to the Odds Breakers, number one place for shared, sharp betting information.
All right, welcome back to podcast 42 of 2018. I'm your host, Kiev O'Neill. You can tweet me at the Public Dog, or you can tweet us at the Odds Breakers. Should you be looking for a sportsbook, please visit mybookie.ag and they will hook you up with a 100% sign up bonus. Terms and conditions apply. Should you be looking to help us out with our costs, we would like to help you out. Please become a Patreon subscriber by visiting the website, theoddsbreakers.com, and we will make you an Odds Breakers member. You'll get access to the podcast a little early in some cases, and you will get our premium picks when we make the plays. Do not risk the line moves. If nothing else, please sign up for our free picks newsletter from our handicappers at theoddsbreakers.com. We have a great show for you today. We have Cub fan Danny that's been killing it in the NFL, and we're going to break down some NFL games with him. And first, of course, I am going to go over our plays, our free plays for the week. Obviously, if you have any questions, please feel free to tweet us at The Odds Breakers. We now create a Facebook group called The Odds Breakers as well, just for discussion on lines, any information that you know that someone might not know, feel free to share. If you have any questions, there's going to be people on there that can answer them. Just wanted to kind of, build up a nice little social network of people that like to bet. This is what we like to do. We want to help each other out. This place is made for shared sharp betting information. Now, we give our picks and everything, but this show is completely for information. We try to give you some information that'll help you for the next week. You don't have to agree with everything we do. You can also question some things. You can maybe let us know something that we missed. But what we care about is just supplying information. I don't care if your record is 20% this year. I don't care if your record is 80% this year. What we're trying to do every week is just supply the best possible information of sharp movements, of betting spots, of reasons to fade teams and reasons to be on teams on a weekly basis, and we go all the way through basketball season. We will probably bring on some MLB as well. We are currently looking for a couple more bloggers, maybe some NBA bloggers that would eventually be on the podcast, or some MLB ones. Definitely trying to expand because, people will want that information. Now, is the demand anywhere near as much as football? No, it's not. But, there is people that like to do it. And I bet some MLB, and once in a great while, I bet some NBA. And, if there's a spot, if someone shares some information with me, which they do, and, I would like to share it with you guys, and, we can go small or large or whatever you want, and just depend upon what kind of edge that we have. So we're looking for some more people like that. So, without further ado, I would like to get into our picks here. The NCAA has been killing it, as you know, for us. We are 45-31-1 in the NCAA, but 8-12 in the NFL. So we're not doing so well in the NFL, but we've picked ourselves out of that hole before. So we plan on doing that again. All right, let's get into college football week 5. Arkansas versus Texas A&M. A&M leading 21 points. Arkansas is currently in full-blown rebuild mode here. And the fans don't even care about this team. They have a turnover margin of negative 2.3. They average 5.2 yards per play. And this is against teams like North Texas, Colorado State, Eastern Illinois, and the only good one was really Auburn. Now they face a very motivated Texas A&M team that has, the new coach and Jimbo Fisher, averaging 7 yards per play against teams like Clemson, Alabama. Even against this tough schedule, the Aggies have been able to hold their opponents to an average of 22.5 points per game. Arkansas is a train wreck this year. They're going to be lucky to move the ball and score. I like Texas A&M off an Alabama loss. They played a real team, probably the realest team in college football. So I'm going to lay the points here. Texas A&M at home, minus 21 points. Let's stay right in the SEC here. Florida versus Mississippi State. I like to buy low, sell high type deal. Well, this game really sets up well for the Bulldogs and kind of that theory. Had Kentucky beat Mississippi State, I wouldn't be as sure if I liked it, but I love teams in a good bounce back spot. And this one lines up well. Florida just took care of their rival Tennessee. They did a good job, beat the hell out of them, right? Tennessee sucks. And now they have to go on the road again to face a pissed off Mississippi State Bulldog team. The Bulldogs could not stop the run against Kentucky, really. But their defense is still averaging 13.5 against and 3.25 yards per run. That's one of the lowest in football, 3.2 yards per run. And 4.22 yards per play. That's a good defense right there. Florida, on the other hand, hasn't faced anyone tough except Kentucky at home. And, Florida's got some quarterback issues. So I like Mississippi State to stack the box here against Florida. And I think they win by 13 points with their play. I love the Joe Moorhead right there. I think he'll be able to outdo Dan Mullen. Both these teams are going to have a chip on their shoulder because Mullen came from Mississippi State, and Moorhead's going to want to definitely take him out of this game. Let's stay right here though. Florida has no real passing game, right? And we already said that, but I like the fact that Florida's the second slowest playing team out of 130 teams. They rank 129th at 56 plays per game. And Mississippi State actually ranks 99th at 67 plays per game. Both teams held their opponents to under 16 points per game on average on defense. And Mississippi State is great defending teams to 4.2 yards per play. I really love this play. We are going under 51 points. And, I don't even think this game gets to 45.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Next game, Florida State versus Louisville, getting 5 points. Okay, Louisville is an absolute train wreck in rebuild like we saw. The only good team that they played was Bama, and they still only averaged 3.7 yards on the ground and just 4.7 yards per play and 17 points a game. I guess Virginia's pretty good. Not great. They got beat by Indiana. Louisville also gives up about 5.6 yards per play. Okay? Florida State, we know, stinks. And they were way overrated coming in. But I think they played harder competition here in Syracuse, Northern Illinois, and Virginia Tech. So I like what Florida State at least did there with their schedule. coming into this game. They are averaging 5.1 yards per play and giving up 5.2 yards per play against that schedule. I like Florida State to win by a touchdown or so here. So the 5 points I like. This is an ugly game, but it's an ugly game with some value. Michigan versus Northwestern. Northwestern is getting 13 to 14 points. I took it at 13, fortunately. This game actually set up pretty nicely as well. Northwestern coming off a bye and a terrible loss to Akron. Well, Michigan's coming off a very easy win against a Nebraska team that plays extremely fast. Now, if you look at the total of this game, it's pretty low for college football, which also tells me that the spread might be a bit too high. The market is low on Northwestern for losing to Duke and Akron. And I think there's some dog value here because Duke is a lot better than you think. And Akron kind of caught them by surprise and isn't too bad. Michigan has been whooping up on teams pretty good lately. But this is still the same team that lost to a Wimbush-led Notre Dame against the run defense. When you see that Michigan's a run. What I'm trying to say, Michigan's a run-first type team. Okay, 2/3 of Michigan's plays have been running. I think this is a low-scoring, punt-a-ton type game. Most importantly, Northwestern needs a huge game here as well. So I'm taking the points. I'm taking Northwestern plus 13. I think they'll lose by 10, maybe 7. But I like this home dog right here. Northwestern needs a performance here. Harbaugh might be sleeping. Baylor versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma's laying 24 points. So we saw Oklahoma get frustrated for not preparing correctly for Army. They almost lost this game outright, but survived. I wasn't watching it, but I was following it on my phone. I was following it on the Scorecast. Baylor, on the other hand, has not been good over the past 3 or 4 years since RG3, and they're not that respected in the marketplace. So one thing you can't ignore is Baylor's potent offense that averaged 7 yards per play and 153 QB rating. This Baylor team last year, when young, also lost to Oklahoma by only 8 points. And these kids know that they can hang with this team a little bit, okay? Now, we know how strong Oklahoma's offense is and all, and they should be able to score when they want, but I think in the back of their minds, they might be looking ahead to a Texas team that just beat TCU and is very hungry to face the Sooners. I think Baylor can keep up with these guys, and the fact that their defense is at least stopping teams to a 117 passing rating and 5.45 yards per play, they can keep this game within 20 points. I'm taking Baylor, and I'm taking 24 points with me. You know, that's a big spread to lay for an in-conference game like that, especially in the Big 12. Pittsburgh versus Central Florida, minus 15. I find it pretty strange that Central Florida only has 4 away games this year. I think because that game that was canceled, North Carolina, but still only 4 away games. Jeez. Lucky them. What isn't lucky is that they do not have any hard games on their schedule for them to have a chance to get in the college football playoff again. They might run the table again and not get in. But because of this, they pretty much have to destroy every team on their schedule. Since they play so fast and Mackenzie Milton is so good, any team they play that isn't in the top 50 should be on